Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Mediumcore. Today we're finally going to be getting away from the townhouses and doing a completely different project. In today's episode I want to do some building over in this area, start to expand along this road, probably a house like right here. But it's not going to be a house, it's just going to be a facade like all these other buildings, because I want to build a sheep farm. An automated wool farm, to be specific, of all the different colors with some extra white wool, because if I get a ton of white wool I can get some emeralds for it. Because I don't really have a lot of wool, and I do use a lot of wool, because I make a lot of carpets, I make a lot of beds, and I use wool in some actual builds, like that one. There's a lot of white wool in the walls. And I've resorted to digging a hole in the ground and filling it with sheep, and that's a lot of work. So what I want to do is just make an automated wool farm underground. So I'm gonna build the building for it, like right here. And what I kind of want to do is make a building that kind of looks like this, not with the birch on top, but just with the brick and granite underlayer, because I think adding more buildings of different colors throughout the town will make it look a lot better, because right now everything is just the one build palette, but the townhouses added in all these different colors that I think could look good splashed around this place. So I'm gonna build another brick one, hopefully, if it turns out well. If not, I'll just say, oh well. But that is my hope. I don't have a design in mind, I'm just gonna wing it and see how it goes, and hopefully it doesn't look too terribly bad, but my intention is to build it right here, so I have further expansion on this roadway, because this roadway is completely empty. So right now the base is still like in just a corner worth of houses, and I want to fill out this entire area so it looks like a full town. Well, as full as it can be. It's a bit rough, but I think it works. Actually, I like how it turned out with the bricks. It does stick out, and for right now that's intentional. I went with just a very simple design, lots of wood, a lot of windows, large windows to give it depth, lanterns on the side, little just typical slanted roof, no interior, it's just empty and plain. And eventually it'll probably have like chests in it to store all the spare wool, but for now it's just empty, it's plain. It kinda stands out up close, but when you get a little further back it actually looks pretty nice right there. And I think it'll look even better when I get more builds of varying color schemes and block palettes in. And now that the actual house is built, the next step would be to dig out a large space underneath it to put the sheep farm. So that's probably going to take quite a while, since I don't have a beacon yet, because I have not gotten a single wither skull. So it might take a bit of time, but it's not something I can't just do quick. It's just digging a hole. What's the worst that could happen? So I think what I'll probably do is dig it in one of the corners so I can have an entire wall of chests along the back for all the spare wool. And then from there is when I'll start building the sheep farm and carting the sheep over. So we'll see how that goes. As promised, the hole is in a corner. I've put a trapdoor over it for now. Well, actually permanently, so I don't fall in a hole. Just nice long ladder down into the abyss. And then this is the hole I dug. It's 25 by 25 by 10. I hope it's big enough, because I want to have 20 sheep in here. There's a hole somewhere in the wall. I want to have 20 sheep in here, the 16 of every color, and then an extra 4 of white. This entire floor will not entirely be farmed, but I wanted to cover it in a big patch of dirt so I can go grow grass throughout the entire thing, because it's going to take grass in every space, and I don't have Silk Touch yet. Which is actually why my levels have lowered since I think the first clip, is because I've been trying to enchant a Silk Touch pickaxe and failing miserably. So I'm eventually just going to have to get a librarian to sell me a book. Yeah, I don't have Silk Touch, so I just have to let it grow manually. Because I have 2 total grass blocks from killing Enderman, and one of them was plopped down in here, so I'm down to 1. So if I ever need grass again, I'm probably going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, a big dirt chain. Which would be really tedious. But hopefully this will be enough for my needs until I can get Silk Touch, or forever maybe. I highly doubt I'll make any other farms like this, but I put the dirt platform on it preemptively, because even though I have not gathered the stuff to make the sheep farm yet, I wanted to have the grass here ready, so that it wasn't taking forever. Digging this hole was an absolute nightmare, because even though I lit it up as best as I could, I was working from the top down pretty much, because I dug out the bottom, and then dug out the top, and then worked my way down. So I didn't have to be using a ton of scaffolding, so I'd end up having there were a ton of monsters spawning throughout the whole thing, but I did run into a little pocket of air around here, which there's a little bit of water, and I caught myself a little axolotl. He's so cute, so I actually got myself the achievement, the cutest predator. Catch an axolotl in a bucket, and he's so cute. Look at him. He's just holding on to the edge of the bucket. He looks so content. It's adorable. I can't wait to use it to commit mass murder. Lots of progress has been made. In fact, all the progress has been made. I have all the sheep in the sheep farms. I've got the entire thing built up. Even the collection system. The entire thing is complete. It's a done project. I've got 1 collection system on each side. It's still not always enough, unfortunately, so at times I might have to go in and pick up some manually, because each of the wools are different colors, so they each take up a different slot in the hopper minecart, and the hopper minecart only has 4 slots, so it's sometimes not the best for picking everything up, but it's doing pretty good. I've got at least 1 of every color, got a lot of white wool. And this has not been built for very long. It is actually working really well. This one doesn't have as much wool because this was pretty much just built. Because I built just the one, and then realized that it wasn't getting near enough wool in it. But that's the entire wool farm done. So that's this project finished. Actually, it wasn't too terribly difficult. The hardest part was probably getting all the rails in place and getting the minecart unloaders all figured out. Everything else was actually rather easy. Getting the sheep into the pens was also pretty annoying. But ultimately I got it done, and that's what really matters. And it's producing wool. Eventually I plan on sticking chests up here, but since this isn't 16 wide, I can't do a full chest array for everything, which is rather unfortunate, but it's just a minor setback. I will fill it with other things. Well, not with other things, still with wool. But it'll be filled with wool. Just not evenly spaced. One wool per block is not gonna happen. It'll be like white wool, white wool, white wool, light gray, dark gray, black, like that. Like multiple chests in a row, each of a different kind. White wool, of course, will have the most. In other news, I finally got my Silk Touch pickaxe. It took quite a bit of enchanting, and then quite a bit of giving up on enchanting, and then quite a bit of moving villagers over. So I now have, I basically made a basement in the library in which I'm going to start storing other villagers, other librarians that I want. It's got just one villager in it currently, and that is a librarian with Silk Touch. Because after so much enchanting, I gave up and just got a Silk Touch book. Yeah. Honestly, I probably should have done that from the beginning, but I don't know why I didn't. I just decided not to, I guess, for some foolish reason. And it came in handy because I placed glass in the wrong spot several times. So it's nice to have, and eventually over time I can use it to add more flavor to my builds with different materials that I couldn't otherwise get. It'll also make the harvesting of smoothstone faster. And not between camera, off camera, I intend to turn it into a netherite pickaxe through some nether mining. I have currently no ancient debris, which is unfortunate, but I'll find some. And I suppose the last thing I want to say today is I murdered all my salmon. Or, well, the axolotl murdered all my salmon. But I wanted something in my pond a little more lively, so I put the axolotl in here. And hopefully I can get another one or two. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he can swim back up this little thing, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? He's cute. But with that, we made a large amount of progress in today's episode, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.